Hey guys, Megan Tennant here. Welcome back to my channel. Now, if you're here, I am sure you read the title, so you know this isn't my normal type of video. So I'm not gonna do an intro and I'm not really gonna do an outro, and we're just gonna get right into this and talk. So I've been in a loving relationship with Josh for nearly 6 years now. We met online, we had an instant spark. I loved him within the week, fell in love with him within the month, and we've been together ever since. We've talked every single day since the day we met. That is a fuck ton of days. And I'm gonna be with him for the rest of my life. With that being said, my name is Megan Tennant and I am bisexual. And no, being in a long-term relationship with a man does not change the fact that I am bi. Like most things in life, it isn't black and white, it's a sliding scale, or rather, multiple sliding scales. I'm demi towards men, but not towards women. But romantically speaking, my personality meshes better with traits more common in men. But yeah, I'm Megan and I am bi. Now, I hesitated to call this a coming out video because in my mind, I wasn't in the closet. So I was very conflicted when I came to the realization that I'd never talked to you guys about my sexuality. Now, I'd always been openly supportive, and if you guys saw my I don't write diverse books video, you're clear on my stance on the topic. And if you've read Alethea, you know that my cast is as diverse in sexuality as they are in hair color, and my main character is bi. But I've never just come out and openly said I am bi. And I want to be very clear that I didn't keep that information to myself because I was scared of how you guys would react, or my family seeing it, or any of the things that normally keep people in the closet, but rather because it just never came up, and sexuality was never a strong part of my identity. And I know how strange that sounds, but let me try to explain. So, for me, sexuality has always been just another character trait. It's like height. Height affects the way you live your life. I can't reach things on tall shelves at grocery stores, but plane rides are super comfy because I have tons of leg space. But unless you're an extreme tall or an extreme short, for the most part, we don't group ourselves in society into different pockets based on height. So I've never talked to you guys about the fact that I'm bi, but I've also never told you that I'm 5'1", short, I know, because you never asked and it never came up in conversation. Looking at it now summarized that way, I realize how strange it must sound that my sexuality isn't a part of my identity, given how many people feel connected to each other because of their sexualities. But the thing is, we identify with things that set us apart from everyone else. And I grew up thinking that being attracted to both men and women was the average. I didn't think that set me apart. So here's the thing, I can't really come out of the closet because I've never really been in it. No one's born in the closet. They're put there by society, whether intended or not. And I don't just mean people who are openly against diverse sexualities, but even just language itself tends to push people towards a certain gender or a sexual identity. But I grew up in a home without closets. So much so that I thought it was completely average to be attracted to both men and women. And it wasn't until I met Josh that I discovered I was bisexual because I learned more about what the word actually meant. And here's the thing, if I'd grown up in a home with closets, I would have felt pushed towards heterosexuality and I would have been conflicted inside, and that would have made me research more about the words and the different definitions of identities and such so that I could find a box I fit in. But because I wasn't pushed towards heterosexuality or any direction, I just lived my life. And believe me, now that I've grown up and I've seen the world, I don't for 1 minute forget how incredibly privileged and lucky I am to have grown up in such a safe place. So in these videos, people normally talk about their hardships and struggles that they faced both internally and externally, and coming to terms with themselves and then their family, and for me, it's different. I'm honestly so incredibly lucky because I grew up in a house where my brother wore my dresses and nail polish and asked for vacuum cleaner toys, and I played with car racetrack sets and construction toys, and no one ever told us that toy choice had anything to do with sexuality or gender, because, I mean, honestly, it really doesn't. So when I decided I wanted to get into programming, it never once crossed my mind that there was going to be gender bias in this industry, or that some people would think my having boobs would make me a lesser programmer. So I grew up in a house where we were told we would be loved no matter what partner we chose, as long as we were happy. And later, even when my parents divorced and my stepmom came into the picture, she was equally supportive. When I was growing up, my mom's friend Matt was gay, but he wasn't her gay friend Matt, just like her friend John wasn't her straight friend John. So this coming out video isn't hard for me because I was never in the closet to begin with. So what changed? Why am I talking to you guys about this now after all this time? You might be thinking it's because of Pride Month, but it's actually because of Vidcon. I recently went to Vidcon for the first time ever. It was a wonderful experience, and the thing about Vidcon is it's a convention for YouTube, so there's so many different niches all together, from beauty to channels that smash cell phones to, you know, people who are into science and technology. There's so many niches all together, and community members all talking. And one thing that I saw across all of the communities was people talking about how much it impacted their lives in a positive way to have a creator that they knew who was openly non-cis, to see themselves represented, to know that they aren't alone, to know that someone in their niche of interest or their career of interest shares their sexuality, or even just shares the fact that they have a non-cis sexuality. And then I came to realize that there are writers out there who are in the closet because they're worried about how coming out will affect their platform or sales of their books or their career. And then I also discovered that bisexuals often feel discriminated on both sides and feel alienated even within the LGBTQ+ community. And that's when I decided that my sexuality matters. If even one of you guys out there feels better knowing this and knowing that you can come to me with this stuff, then it's worth it. And coming out in this very public manner will allow me to see the hardships that authors of diverse sexualities face, so I can gather information on how to handle this situation and bring that information back to you guys to help you in this process if you do decide you want to come out, if you have a diverse sexuality. And hopefully I can help you guys. And yes, I've been warned that coming out could lose me subs and followers and readers, but you know what? I don't care. If someone's gonna unfollow me because I come out as bi, they can leave, because I want this community to be a loving and accepting place. And if someone's gonna boycott my books because I come out as bi, that's probably a good thing, because my main character is bi and my characters are all diverse sexualities. So they wouldn't like my books anyway. So I'll gladly take that number loss. I want to be here for you guys. I want you to know that this is a loving and accepting community, whether you're bi, trans, non-binary, gay, lesbian, no matter what you identify as. Across any spectrum, I'm here for you and I support you, and you can come to me if you want to talk. Now, I know you guys, so I know right now you're either already typing out a comment or you're already thinking of a comment to post on this video to tell me that you're proud of my coming out or of my bravery, and that you support me and you love me no matter what, and all of the just huge amounts of kind words that you guys are full of. But I'm gonna ask you not to, because this video isn't for me. It's for anyone who's ever felt alienated or alone or scared because of their sexuality or gender. I acknowledge that I am incredibly lucky and privileged to have grown up in the open environment that I did, with parents and my stepmom as incredibly supportive as they were. There was not one second where I was scared to make this video. Believe me, I recognize how incredibly rare and precious that is. So as much as I love your guys' comments, I don't need them, but there are thousands of people out there who do. So I'm asking you a favor. Take that time and energy you were gonna put into commenting on this video to support me, and give that comment to someone who needs it. Send out a tweet and remind your followers that no matter what their sexuality or gender, you support them and you love them and you respect them. Post a rainbow-themed Instagram picture and tell people that you support their diversity, whether it's Pride Month or July or even April. Yes, April too, guys. All months of the year. Remind people that you're there for them. And if you're someone who has more money than time, you can give to a charity. Here's a list of some awesome LGBTQ+ charities you can give to help support the community. I'll link them in the description down below too, so you can also show your support that way. But I want to donate all of the comments you guys were ready to give me to people who actually need it. I grew up in a home without closets, and my hope is that one day all children will. But until then, we can wait outside the closets with open arms and loving words, and we can make this community a home.